All right, we are live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show, the year-end awards edition of the Spinnin Backfist MMA show, presented by Monaco and Barstool Sports. As always, Monaco, the best in the business. Sorry for the echo there. The best in the business. They've got it all. They've got an alcohol for every single drinker. Whether you like tequila, whether you like cognac, whether you like vodka, or whether you like whiskey, they've got everything on the slate for you. The Twisted Lime Spicy Margarita, that's your more classic. 2 shots in every can, 9% alcohol. Cognac, not a lot of places are making cognac drinks nowadays.
No.
So like in a can like that, very nice. Then the Watermelon Classic Margarita, change it up a little bit. Love the vodka, the double vodka, 2 shots in every can. The strawberry lemonade, normal hard lemonade. And of course, Anthony Smith's favorite, the Kentucky coffee flavored whiskey. We were just looking back at the year, thinking back to our favorite interviews. That was definitely one of them, Anthony Smith and Chris Weidman, and they loved themselves some Kentucky coffee afterwards. So there you go. Get it all wherever you can. Monaco, the best drink to pair with the fights. How we doing?
Good. I mean, we talked Saturday night.
Yep. Saturday night, we did a live show, live recap of the fight. So if you missed out on that, make sure you go back and check that out there. It was a very good recap of the fights, I thought, because we had a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of crazy stuff to talk about, even outside of the pay-per-view. Sean Strickland getting in the crowd, shit like that.
One of the wilder, just like maybe didn't live up to the hype in terms of fights on the main card. The prelims were great. You talk about just actually Strickland in the crowd. All the new Miami fight announcements got announced pretty much like as we were literally live. We were live on YouTube.
299 is stacked top to bottom. That card is going to be one of the cards of the year next year. You could say it already. Fingers crossed. Pray to the MMA gods. No fights have to drop off on that one. All 3 in the lead up to 300 are incredible, to the point where I've seen already chatter like, how are they going to top 299 with 300? I think they're going to do it, but it's going to be tough.
I trust Dana. Dana said you're gonna look at the first fight of the night on UFC 300 and be like, this is the fucking first prelim.
Now let me ask you a question about those words. We know Jim Miller's fighting on the card. If Jim Miller's like the first fight on the prelim, I don't know if I'll say that. No disrespect to Jim Miller. I love Jim Miller. He's a Jersey guy.
If it was Jim Miller Felder, I would say that.
All right, fair enough. I would.
Which seems to be like I keep saying that.
That's a good point.
That's like the rumor.
Yeah.
You know who's going to lead off?
Parker Porter.
Yep. Parker Porter.
I can see where that was going.
Parker Porter. Bring Sam Alvey back. Alvey.
He just won the Karate Combat heavyweight title.
Yeah, bring Sam Alvey back. Parker Porter, Sam Alvey.
By the way, I would like to get to a Karate Combat event next year. They've reached out a few times and been like, can we line it up? It's just never worked out schedule-wise or whatever, but the pit looks awesome.
Would love to.
It looks awesome, and, I mean, they're always star-studded events. I mean, there's a lot of really good fighters in it, too. That guy, the guy who almost beat Usman Nurmagomedov? No, who almost beat Saeed. Remember? Sada? Sada... Crocker Mama or something. Yeah. He won on Saturday night or Friday night. And then
Mac Malley, shout out Mac Malley. Helps
Mac Malley was
run
there.
The social media, or I think runs all the social media.
Oh, nice. Yeah, shout out Mac Malley 100%.
So we've got a bunch of awards to go through today. Oh, my phone where I put all of my award winners is on my desk. All right, I gotta go get my phone.
Go grab it quick.
You guys, while I do that, run through the categories for everyone.
All right.
Do we want to talk anything that's happened since Saturday night? Did anything really happen outside of?
I mean, just my favorite Ray Longo video.
Yeah, the Ray Longo. I mean, Colby just continues to get trashed. He deserves it. We trashed him on Saturday night. He continues to. I don't think he's really said anything since. So, I mean,
yeah, I don't think he's posted anything.
He hasn't.
I looked at his Twitter. I don't think I saw anything, or Instagram. I think same.
And then, outside of that, I mean, I'm trying to think. There was some people were discussing. Do you think like some people, and it's Twitter, so people really do it for the memes more than anything. But do you get lit on Leon at all for point fighting?
No, because I think it was Colby like not willing to engage.
Yeah.
Like I was just talking to Chuck about it before. Like Colby was so much on the back foot, and because he knew if he came in the pocket, he was going to get hit. He was going to knocked 100%. Out probably. And I think that was more. And I mean, even I brought up the Longo video. I said even Longo kind of said it in his rant that he was like karma was got, like he did fucking nothing. Like he just didn't do anything. And then I mean we talked about a little bit obviously in the recap that Leon basically wrestled him just to like fuck you him.
I do think Leon in that fight at least engaged or tried more than and not to like put someone down to bring someone up. some of the style bender fights that he got criticized of doing that in, I think Leon was more active in this fight.
Yeah, I think so. But Leon was like more on, like was like pushing forward.
Yes,
almost the whole fight.
Yeah,
like it was. I think it was him. Like he's not going to run in like stupid.
No,
like if Colby had just like met him, like it was kind of. I'll pat myself back a little bit. It was kind of what I said about before the fight. The way Kamaru and Colby, like Colby was willing to just stand and trade with him.
Yeah,
I knew like you can't do that with Leon. He's too fast.
Yeah,
and I think you saw in the first round, he started like. Leon landed, like when he did land, he landed like big shots, and then immediately Colby was like, "Holy fuck! Like he's even faster than I thought."
Yeah,
and just knew he could not get in the pocket with him.
How Leon really just pretty much neutralized Colby with the leg kicks was really those.
Oh yeah, leg was shattered.
The night of leg kicks,
and then also it's a meme now. I posted on Spinning Backfist's Twitter and whatnot, but. The way he was fighting kind of looked like Miranda Cosgrove in that, but he was putting them down so low because those mid-section kicks are just brutal, and
he hit a lot of those too,
and
probably to try to set up.
There was somebody on Twitter. I need to give it. This guy does these breakdowns that are amazing. When Colby was pretty much circling, because Leon was pretty much controlling the cage, but he was circling. Colby would always be like to the side. And then because he had his elbow down here, he couldn't Leon really couldn't get into the stomach. But when he would move, he would almost get center, and Leon would recognize it immediately, and he'd throw an up kick right through the middle. And then sometimes even threw a jab down there, and those add up. So I mean,
definitely
there was some people who were getting on that were getting on Colby or on Leon a little bit for that point fighting. I think it was more memes than anything.
Yeah.
That being said, I thought he fought an amazing fight. And a lot of Colby's inactivity had to do with just Leon being Leon, which is the leg kicks, his amazing speed and power, and Colby just kind of being a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
Or not even a little bit, just afraid.
Shout out everyone in the chat, everyone that's been with us all year on our year-end award show. Hot Billy, MPI, Vince, Jesse Adams, all these guys, Logan, who I don't even know if he's in the chat now, but he's always in there. Lewis, appreciate all you guys for hopping in the chat. Did you guys run through the categories yet, or you want to tell everyone?
We were talking about just like anything that's happened. We were discussing at the end of this kind of an inside the Spinning Backfist world, inside Barstool, but at the end of our stream, Neon, we were talking about Neon. He apologized to Dana White.
And his apology, I got to be honest, this is my first exposure to this guy ever. His apology like made me think he was a little bit of a bitch. The way he was
he is a bitch.
The way he was like, I gotta understand, I'm not a grown man, I'm just a little loser. I was like, bro, why are you talking about yourself like that?
Well,
that feels
like
what Dana White said to him, and he regurgitated that on his own behalf. That's what it felt like to me.
And the thing is, like, Dana White won't give a fuck.
No, and he said
once you cross Dana, like he's dead.
He met up with Dana that night at the Red Rock Casino to apologize. And I think Dana was like, you got to understand you're not a tough guy. You're a loser. Yeah. And Neon was like, all right, I'll go out there and just tell the people that.
Neon's certainly something.
Jesse, we did see Ray Longo. We just talked about that a little bit. So you could scroll back a little and hear our talk about Ray Longo. Ray Longo is one of the GOATs.
Yeah, doing the president. The president here to see me. Who'd you get? The Queen of England? He goes, this fucking dope.
So the categories that we're going to be going through today: prospect of the year, submission of the year, and knockout of the year, of course, performance of the year, fight of the year, best and worst bet of the year, funniest fighter, the dog award, and then are we doing best event?
I have a best event. I did a fighter of the year as well.
And a fighter of the year. I could add fighter of the year.
I think comeback and dog are almost like the same. Or we're gonna do a different one as comeback, but
you know what's funny? I was looking through the list, and this is how bad I am with timelines and my brain just being mush. I was like, dog of the year, it's gonna be tough. Obviously, we got one guy we'll get to, but I initially thought Matt Schnell for his performance on Long Island, which was not in 2023.
No, sure wasn't. It was the summer of 2022.
I was like, maybe that could be. He's a dog for that. Yeah, that was a long time ago, and it felt like this summer to me.
Honestly, weirdly, what I did was on ESPN, they have all the cards like lined up, And I literally went to like January and just like give a quick glimpse at every single one. Just like, obviously there was some I knew off the top of my head, obviously, but I just went through them all to refresh. And there was a few that I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot about that one. And then I tried to give as much consideration as I could.
Which one should we like save for last, you know?
I would say.
What's our main event here?
Knockout of the year?
Because some of them are tough. Because some of them I feel like will be pretty. There's gonna be a few will be. I almost feel like unanimous.
I think there is too.
There's a few.
I would say we're gonna be unanimous in fight of the year.
No,
maybe
not. I don't. I think I try to.
I went with a really chalk pick.
I think mine will get nominated for fight of the year, but won't win it.
Okay.
But it was my pick. It was my personal favorite fight of the year.
Prospect of the year. I think there's a chance we're all aligned on.
So, I want to talk about it too. Someone said it in the chat. So with prospect, my mindset, I wrote down two, but only one.
I wrote down two as well.
But actually, a few of them I wrote down too. But my initial thought process is the one that I was going to actually go with. I was thinking that they can't be in the top 15 right now. But if you brought one that maybe cracked it this year, I'm fine with that.
No, my guy's not in there.
Okay, mine isn't either. Mine's currently not top 15, but I think will be next year.
Where do we want to start?
Prospect of the year.
Prospect of the year right off the bat. Who do you have, Ev?
I went Diego Lopez.
Okay.
I just thought the year he had all finishes, big finishes, exciting, built a fan base, was a guy who lost Contender Series, goes and it really starts. I think it started the first quarter of the year. It wasn't in the UFC.
Yeah.
Gets a late notice shot against Evlov, who's top 10. Almost beats him,
came very close.
And then finishes Gavin Tucker in the first round, knocks out Pat Sabatini, who's a known, very good, fringe ranked guy, knocks him out inside a minute plus. And I think his sky's the limit. I think he's got power. He's got a great record, super experienced, young. I think he's 27, 26, 27. Young, he's 24 and 5, 24 and 6, something like that. Like I said, big finisher, exciting. Kind of a wild haircut, but I just think he's the real. I think he's the real deal. I think he's going to crack the top 15 this year. That was who I went. Diego Lopez.
Jack.
I was going to go Diego, but I'm just going to go with my favorite prospect, Tatsuro Taira.
Okay.
I think he's going to get the belt at one point. I think Diego is a great prospect. Just to give the list and our just everything a little bit of a difference, I'm going to go with Tatsuro, and I think he ended the year very well. He fought on the December 8th card, I think.
Yeah.
And he got the knockout. I think he would be the first Japanese UFC champion.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So, and I think that would be pretty fucking cool. And then maybe if he becomes a big time star, we could see UFC in Japan.
Yeah. Bo Nickel debuted this year.
Yeah.
Yep,
so I had Bo Nickel. I had Diego Lopez written down as well, but it would be remiss not to mention Bo Nickel. 2-0 in the UFC this year. Obviously, his wins aren't against elite top-tier talent, but the way those wins came very easily for him makes me think he deserves it.
Val Woodburn got another fight.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, he has.
On the February 3rd card, which is actually a decent
Pretty
card.
good card. Is that the card Molly's on?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's in Vegas. I don't know if that means Apex or they're going to do it in a...
I think Apex. I could be wrong, but I think
the producer of Helwani show, I forget his name. It's really funny.
Connor Burks?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tweeted out someone was most iconic sports venue. And then people were doing jokes and whatnot, and people did backyard baseball.
Yeah.
And he did a photo of the Apex.
His Twitter's great.
Yeah, he has an amazing
He's
Twitter.
got a great Twitter. All right, you want to move on to submission of the year?
Yeah, that is for the honorable mention. Someone mentioned Joe Pyfer, which I think is a solid.
Pyfer's a great mention. Yeah,
good mention as well.
Absolutely. Blaze now. Oh, that's Blaze. That's our guy Blaze.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, that is actually Blaze. What up, Blaze?
I didn't know that was his last
Another
name.
win for Blaze.
Another win for
big
Blaze.
Dub.
Blaze was out there on Saturday. Huge dub.
Happy for the whole squad. Love that whole team. They got Stormzy in the back. Did you see the picture of Molly and Stormzy?
Yeah.
Nice. Submission of the year. This one, do you think we'll be aligned on this?
Yeah,
I think this one. I think there's one choice.
I think there's kind of two.
All right. Mine's Grasso over Shevchenko.
Yeah, absolutely. That was mine as well.
So Grasso. So then I'll say there's three. That one, should it be submission of the year? Sure, but it was a rear naked choke. So I was kind of
okay,
the way she got there, the stakes of it, everything about it. Yes, that is like the submission of the year.
I also just remember it literally was so tight. over her mouth and chin that it would literally like
change the
her
coloring
face
of her
was
face.
like 2 different colors.
Also, I kind of give it to like she was a 6-1 underdog.
Yeah,
and it was in the 4th round. I said she was fighting well, but she was going to lose that fight.
Yeah. She was winning on the feet though.
Yeah.
I remember I was looking up. I was there, and it was the scenes when Shevchenko tapped were literally insane.
So the 2 I had that weren't that. I have Black Shear's Twister.
Yeah, I
love a Twister. Right. Seeing a Twister in the UFC.
I thought about it.
No matter who it's against is amazing. But also Shavkat and Jeff Neal, when he's on the feet with that fucking choke, that was crazy.
Also was lucky that was the same card as Shevchenko.
And also,
that was really the fight before Shevchenko.
That's insane. I didn't know. I didn't even realize that. But the fact that you could put a guy like Jeff Neal in a choke like that and finish him with it is insane.
Actually, and Bo Nickal's debut was also on that main card.
Really?
Those were it was literally that, and then
what a fucking card that was.
I felt very lucky to be there.
I actually great call by Robbie. The Shavkat
insane
was insane.
No hooks, just like straight behind him,
grabbing him,
and just hurt him.
And that fight was so good.
Insane.
And then he walked away from it like John Jones walked away from
Machida. Literally just let it go. He just collapsed.
It was like a WWE, like when they do like a sleeper hold.
Yeah,
they basically put him in that.
100%. By the way, was that a work last night in NXT?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, the one way. Yeah. It was. I felt a little weird with
they
being
like
a work where it was like he was like
people were like shaking.
Yeah. Yes. I was like,
they do that a little too often in NXT.
And I was like, are they like, especially with the Bryce thing just happening? But I saw it and I was like, it's that was pre-recorded, right?
Yeah.
So it had to be a work. I didn't want to feel like I was getting worked.
Do you want to save knockout of the year? Go with something else.
Yeah, knockout of the year. I feel like we could really go through a bunch because there's I think a unanimous number one.
I have 2.
That
I think are both strong for different. Both.
You want to just go?
Yeah,
let's just do it. What are your 2, Ev?
So obviously, it literally just happened. But the Josh Emmett on Bryce Mitchell is one of the clear knockouts you'll ever see. I mean, he literally made him have a seizure. Like that was the cleanest, most vicious 1-punch knockout I've ever seen.
Still,
it's definitely
the noise
up there.
Too.
It's up there. The sound that made the thud.
I got a text from someone who was cage side after they watched the Spinnin Backfist show, and they were like, "Dude, you pointing out the noise. Like, you can't imagine what it was like in person, cage side. Like, it was like a gunshot." And this is someone that's live for every UFC card, and he's like, "That was one of the craziest noises I've ever heard."
I will say, from the perspective of like, I'll never stop watching MMA. But those are the type of ones that hit. You're like, what am I doing?
What am I watching?
I'm glad you said. I thought about that night and didn't articulate it out loud. Then I was you have those moments where I'm like, damn, like I'm such a savage.
Yeah.
Like what a bloodthirsty pig.
I'm like, dude, I'm watching modern day gladiator.
I'm literally, and this is like this is the outcome that I want the most.
Yeah. Like
you're
watching for those.
And my reaction was, I got to text everybody about this knockout.
This guy that I'm a big fan of, literally seizing out on the mat.
Yeah.
I'm getting hit so hard by a punch.
People are still doing backflips and shit over his body.
Jesus. And then you guys got it. I feel like someone's going to say my other one.
So I had that one. I also threw on Roman Kopylov, the head kick.
Was not
Came out of nowhere. I watched back just a video of the best knockouts of the year, and that was the one that stuck out the most to me. Is just like a bullet, just snapped it up there, and he got an extra shot in afterwards. He did not need to. That was over Claudio Ribeiro.
And then
that was on the BMF card.
You got good memory with these cards. I don't remember what fight was on what card at all.
Lee posted this today. Diego Ferreira's knockout of Michael Johnson.
Great one.
Was late.
Vicious.
He also just commented in the chat. Oh no, that's not Lee. That's Lewis. I saw
that
L.
looks the L, and he has purple too.
L.
It's
Luis.
That's a Luis usually.
Sorry, Luis. That was Gaethje head kick.
Yeah.
Great one.
That one was amazing. Gaethje and Poirier. How does this?
Sugar on Aljo. That's a great one.
Shout out Dovecast for saying,
appreciate you, Dovecast.
That's really nice.
Thank you,
Dovecast. We
trying to build it up.
We're building it up. If you're new here or you're watching on Twitter, which by the way, on Twitter, we now, because I think they changed the formula, we can see your comments. So you can watch, like they changed, like we'll actually see them on the side now. That was a new feature recently. And then also, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, like the video. We appreciate all the support, even if it's one of you. Or
by 2025, 10K easy. I agree.
Let's go.
Are there any other knockouts?
So the one I mean,
Izzy.
That was what I was gonna say in terms of like, highlight reel plus stakes. I said Izzy Pereira. That was my.
I forgot that was this year, to be honest.
Yeah, that was
March,
April. It was at Miami, April. Yeah,
that was one of the biggest
celebration.
That was one of the bigger oh my god knockouts.
That was the moment of maybe this year that made me feel the most.
Yes,
yeah.
That I jumped up out of my seat and was like, holy fuck.
Who was the guy who fucking copied this celebration like 2 weeks later?
Onama did.
And that was a good knockout too.
Really good knockout.
Dave didn't understand it. He was like, what the remember he tweeted about it. Yeah. He was like, what the fuck is this? Because I think it may have been, wasn't it on London? No.
Might have been France, maybe.
Maybe France.
I'm trying to remember. He was watching and he was like, oh, like MMA, like that's real classy, bro. Yeah. But you know what it was? It was right after the Angel Reese thing, and then he made it a classy joke, like real classy. And then everybody in the comments was like, "Dave, like this was something that was really big."
Jacksonville, it was. That's right. It was on the Emmett Taporia.
Oh, Taporia. Let's add one. Biggest beatdown of the year. I think it's Taporia Emmett.
Oh, just like
without a knockout.
Yeah.
I like that.
There
also
were
the one
someone though
for the Ottawa Metro KO too. It was one that I like didn't pick, but I like just had it in mind not to bring up the beef, but the Bond from T-Rex McKinney knockout was
a really
not to bring that
we don't have three as well. Yeah,
but that was legitimately a just vicious highlight knockout.
It's rare that we see a guy fall forward.
Yeah,
when he gets knocked out.
Yeah. One that I'd like to bring up was Derek Lewis's resurgence, his comeback.
Yes, sir.
You're talking about the moments that made you feel the most this year. That's up there for me. And the feeling was humor, laughter. I laughed so hard I was crying at his flying knee, at his post-fight speech, at him taking the shorts off immediately and telling Joe, like, you know what it is. You know why I took this fucking shorts off. See his Manscaped commercial? That's a good one.
Dude, speaking of commercials with Derek Lewis is in random. Also, Blaze saying he wants me to get Ilya Taporia's schlong out of my mouth.
Yeah,
First
hand
of all,
sanitizer.
Pause. Yeah. All that being said, today I was in the gym and I walked by. There was just like kind of it was like it's just a video board kind of, and they just have like not even commercials playing, but it's just photos. I was like, is that fucking Khalil Roundtree? And it was. He was just like a model for like just like an athletic
gym?
Yeah, not my gym, like just like an athletic brand like shirt. I think it was a
cult shirt.
No, yeah. It was a wear, like an athletic wear if you were like really ripped. Like Khalil's obviously ripped.
Yeah.
And shirts that expand so they show off your muscles or whatever.
Holloway over Zombie. That was a beatdown.
Yeah, that was a knock. That was a crazy knockout.
And knockout, yeah.
Oh, we saw the
Saeed Yan.
The Sadabu C.
That was crazy.
The spinning back kick.
We saw that.
Yeah.
With
with Dwight Howard.
And then what's his name? Who's our boy's name?
Move with Matt.
Yeah. He got a shout out from like a iconic chess player recently.
Oh, nice. You don't hear that every day. Where do you want to go next year? Performance of the year?
I had performance. This is one I think should be
obvious, unanimous.
I think so.
Yeah. Sean Strickland,
absolutely. Yeah. Strickland over Izzy is the performance of the year.
Has to be.
To just basically shut him. I mean, I guess he lost the second round. It was a weird, not much volume round, but I mean, he basically shut out one of the best of all time.
And finishing the fight, screaming in his face, being
dude.
Why don't you do something, dude?
I just think it's rare you see a title fight like that where, well, obviously it was like a 6-7 to 1 dog. Obviously that's rare. But then to put into perspective, also the way he just usually I feel like when you see a big dog like that, usually it's like a knockout or something to just dominate him like the entire fight. It was so impressive.
It wasn't luck in even
at all, not the slightest bit of luck. Just went out there, was just better than him every moment of the fight. To where Izzy's literally saying to his corner, I just can't.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Work the jab.
He's just beating me up.
When Izzy said to his corner, I can't, like the jab doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think his corner was like, "Oh, we're fucked."
Yeah,
and it was in the 4th round at that point.
At that point, yeah, it's like, well, you better knock him out then.
But that was, man, and the screaming, I think, is one of the more iconic moments of the year because it was almost like Izzy, this guy that just knocked out his Pereira, who just slayed the beast, just got broken by this guy that we almost forgot about at one point. He came back from a motorcycle accident. Then he became known as the crazy guy. I mean, he lost this year.
He was a guy that Poetan like one punch knocked out. And then lost a decision to Cannonier.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people thought he did win. It was very close, obviously, but still.
Still, like, he lost.
Yeah, he lost. Lost twice in the last, 2 years.
I will say for performance, I think it's kind of like maybe we should have put it up there with knockout. It's kind of a combination. And I'm surprised Ev didn't say it because it's his guy. I think Tom Aspinall's performance over Pavlovich was unbelievable.
It was quick, but yeah.
Yeah, I had it later on in the list.
Performance.
But yeah.
Performance.
I would still say, I chose performance just because I thought Strickland was the obvious, just because how big of a dog he was.
Yeah.
That he just the way he just walked him down for 5 rounds and just destroyed him. I mean, it just was tough to beat.
Fight of the year. This is one that I went with a very chalk pick, and I kind of felt bad going with this pick, but at the same time I didn't, because I was like, I kind of feel like stakes wise, everything about this fight I loved. I went with Makhachev versus Volkanovski 1.
Okay, I like that a lot.
I like that
pick a lot.
I went with Pantoja Moreno. I think that was just a war. Even though I look back on it and think Pantoja won it handily, in the moment it felt like it was
split
a back
decision,
and forth.
right?
And then there was also Pantoja, we now know he's kind of that zombie. Ev said it perfectly on Saturday night, where he's a zombie, he just keeps coming. But it felt like Pantoja was breaking multiple times and then just found ways to
keep coming back. Yeah,
I love both of those picks. I went Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner.
Great fight.
Just violence from start to finish.
True
just
war.
Turned in the fight. I mean, Dan Hooker won a fight where he broke his arm and his orbital bone, and he won.
Yeah.
And there was 2 occasions that I thought the fight could have been stopped and it would have been no problems.
Oh.
That Jalen Turner was dead.
That fight was insane.
That to me, I thought about a few of them, because obviously those 2 I thought about years. I've been Pantoja Moreno. I think that's going to be the one who wins the UFC fight of the year probably. But when I thought about the 2 fights, obviously that was 5 rounds. There was a lot of grappling in it where, these 2 were just trading blows for 3 rounds, and it was just mayhem. So, yeah, I went a little outside the box, but I think it'll be nominated.
I'll never forget that head kick that Hooker ate.
Oh, my God.
I think that knocks out 99.9% of the UFC.
Dude, and then coming into the fight,
the earth, 100%.
Coming into the fight, it was so much about his chin not holding up anymore, and he eats that kick.
Gaethje Fiziev, that was a great fight.
Yeah, really good fight.
Good.
I'll stand by the fact.
Baisley cop fleeced Dos Santos. I swear to God, I didn't write it down, but when I was going through all the cards, I was like, damn, that one was an insane fight.
Listen, it might be recency bias, but Aldana Hosa was awesome.
Dude,
oh my God.
That's a contender.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just happened, but that was a war.
Didn't expect that to turn into the war that it did. Good pick, though. Good picks all around. Worst bet of the year. Now
this one for me was easy.
See, these were hard for me because I don't bet a lot, so I had to really think back, and I'm like, I don't even know if I bet, but these are kind of worst picks or whatever for me of the year. What is your worst pick of the year?
So I had 2. The one Whitaker versus DDP was horrendous. Yeah. Was all in. It was this guy's going to smoke him. I thought he was going to get fraud checked, and he got absolutely murdered. So that one to me was the worst. I had Whitaker inside the distance, or knockout. I thought it was going to be easy peasy. And the other one I wrote 2, I'll let you guys go unless you guys might have taken. Jack Beck might have my other one, so I'll let him say it first.
Mine's actually, and I'm interested to hear what yours is. Mine's Colby.
Colby or Leon.
Fair.
Yeah, and I was confident, and I really thought it was going to go a certain way, and it didn't go any way like it. And I know it's recency bias. I've had a bunch of other really, really bad ones, but that one's up there.
Mine, I don't even fully remember if I bet this or whatever, but I'm pretty sure I thought Tony Ferguson was going to beat Bobby Green this year.
Okay. I will say he had some moments in that fight.
In the first round, he looked, you saw
decent, Goggins talking to the clip of Goggins,
Yeah. So I don't even know if that's the worst, but for me, that's what I wrote down.
What's the other one?
So the other one I know was Jan versus Marab.
Oh, wait, that's my worst because I
just got shut out, and I was pretty big on him.
I think that's the fight I lost the most money on. I had him 50 different ways.
Yeah.
I had him
Dariush being a favorite over Charles.
Oh, I bet Dariush there. That was a bad bet.
Whoever bet Valentina, all of us.
I actually was on Shevchenko the first one.
Oh, I was over.
I was there.
I was all over Holloway against Arnold Allen.
And then best bet of the year.
Mine's easy.
I have 2.
Give yours first.
So the opposite, I was all in on Bronx versus Dariush, money line, first round, knockout. I bet it was plus 575. I had him every way, just absolutely smoked it.
Oh, shout out Lee, worst bet, Justin Jacoby over Azamat.
Yeah, I was on Jacoby there as well. Not huge, but I was on him. But yeah, Dubronx against Dariush was like, that was like he knocked him out. And that was where I saw there was a Twitter, people were doing like the I'm Him awards. And I saw someone nominated that. That was for me. Like he did that. And I was like, in my house, like I'm him. Like I know fighting. Like I'm like, I knew he was going to knock this guy out. That was one of my biggest bets of the year. And he just hit every way.
Jack?
Mine, DDP and Strickland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great pick.
My DDP one, I felt very confident in. I think I laid 2 units on him plus 200. And then a Strickland, I bet like every which way in terms of just, I bet him to win via decision. I bet him to win straight up. And I felt very confident in it. I mean, I wish I did more, but like that was I mean, obviously, how confident can you be in a guy that was 7-1, 6-1? But I still felt like I was in a really, I will say, biggest, almost best bet of the year. I think I had Sam Hughes round 3, 50-1 against someone, and she was on top of her the whole round and did not finish her. Lee will remember that one because that one killed me. But yeah, another bad bet. Kevin Lee over Renat. I was pretty big on Kevin Lee in that spot too.
Oh, I was too. I think I thought Kevin Lee.
I bet Aljamain pretty big.
I think I did think Kevin Lee.
It's crazy we haven't brought up Sugar Sean yet, considering what he did.
Yeah.
If you
could put him in, I don't know.
That was a pretty good bet by you.
But I don't know if you can.
What? Oh, Sugar. Yeah, I had a couple that Aspinall Pavlovich. I was like, bet my life on it basically. Yeah. He reminded me. Actually, it was the stakes. The Leon 2. I mean, I was on him the first. I think we all were on him the first one as well. But Leon 2. I just remember where I was at. We were in Columbus for March Madness, and I was already big on him. And I was having like the worst day betting college basketball, and I basically went full chase, like all in Leon to get me back, plus like 200, and the man delivered.
I remember watching you in the background of it, and
like you were
like pacing.
I had like a moment with the Big Cat that I was like, I know, like it's called. I was like, I need Leon Edwards. He has to win this fight,
and that was
so he jumped in with me. He bet him too. He was plus like 185, like plus 200.
Yeah, I was.
So that one was definitely one of my better ones. Aspinall, both Aspinalls, honestly.
I'm trying to. David Onama was a good bet by me. I remember being pretty big on that guy. He was like plus 200.
Oh, also we were both on this too. Benoit, honestly, not Moises, even that was a good one.
Oh,
Benoit over Bonfim, he was plus 275 and choked him out in the first round. That was like the easiest win ever.
We should have put all of our money together and just won it and then went to an island.
And actually, it's so much. See, I remember it now. I feel like because I remember so many of the bad ones too, but I'm bringing up the good ones. Pantoja, that was good too. Pantoja over Moreno.
Yeah,
I was pretty heavy on.
You guys were on that.
Jones, I was on. That was a good one.
Oh, that's a great nomination for one of my worst bets. I was big on Gone.
That was
Jones. I was luckily on.
Yeah. I saw some people putting I saw someone tweeted Jones has submission of the year, and I was like, I guess in terms of how easy he did it, but it just wasn't as flashy. It was more boring. Gone was my worst bet, says Lee. Funniest fighter. Who made you laugh the most this year? I kind of alluded to it earlier. Derek Lewis's moment won him the whole award for me. I know that certain fighters like Sean Strickland have like a year's worth of funny content out there. Derek Lewis pops in, hits a few jokes, bats it like 1,000, and goes back to Texas doing what he's got to do. When he went and they were like, oh, we saw you just got arrested for going like 138 and a 50. And he was just like, yeah, it wasn't me. Like that cracked me up. It's like there's a mugshot. He's like, yeah, it wasn't me. It looks like me, but it's not me.
I was going to, I wanted to go a little outside the box. I was going to say Moicano, but then I forgot the Moicano Want Money was technically 2022.
That was so good.
I mean, it's got to be Strickland, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Strickland.
Strickland's funny as fuck.
He really did have a year's worth of interviews and stuff.
Yes, I'll say Strickland.
His interviews with Nina Drama, who just called us out. No beef. Sorry for not tagging you. We'll tag her next time.
What? She called her yesterday?
I guess we posted something and tag her.
We posted the clip of Leon saying, "Are you Arabic or are you Arab?"
Yeah. That's the funniest clip. I posted that. Well, that wasn't even Lee. She was
very funny.
Her fucking
she said
we'll tag her. We'll tag her.
She said, "You guys always do this to me."
Yeah, we're habitual.
Apologies. No beef.
I mean, it's like that's like fucking Sean Strickland, like being like, "Why didn't you tag me?" Like everyone knows who you are. It's like it's the name of the game, Nina. But whatever, we'll make sure we tag you now.
We'll tag Nina next time. The event of the year. So I didn't have one written down, but as we were talking about this, I feel like half the fights we brought up were on one event today.
So I have two. Which one you think the Gon Jones?
I think UFC 290. Alexander Volkanovski knocks out Yair, Pantoja versus Moreno, Whitaker versus DDP, Jalen Turner versus Dan Hooker, Bo Nickel versus Val Woodburn. Pretty good prelims on this card. Robbie Lawler's last fight, Tatsuro Taira.
That was a great one.
Great fight. Alonzo Menafield, Jimmy Crute, Sean Brady. Oh no, that was canceled. Petrino got a submission.
Sean
Simon
Brady,
got a
JDM
knockout.
been the bet of the year.
Shannon Ross Aguilar, that was a knockout. A lot of knockouts.
Oh, it was almost the bet of the year. JDM the next week almost.
It's Basile. He's fighting soon. I'm glad he's getting into the fight. He fought his ass off in that fight. I thought he should have won, honestly. Mine, I'll go 295. I mean, you had 5 knockouts in the main event.
I gotta look at it again.
It was that was New York.
Oh, of course, duh, yeah.
Literally 4 first round knockouts and 1 second round knockout.
No, yeah.
I just thought that was. I just like 5 knockouts. I was like, how could? I mean, and they all were like highlight reel knockouts too.
Decent prelims. The prelims were nothing amazing, but you got the Jared Gordon knockout. Moment.
The one I had because I knew there was some that was something I thought about that it wasn't as well rounded. But you had Jared Gordon knockout, and you had Sadikov. Borshev potentially fight of the year candidate.
Awesome fight.
Incredible. So that was enough to me for the main card, which is insane.
Yeah, great card. Lee says 295 is the best pay-per-view main card. 290 was the best full card. All
that's
right,
fair. I'd probably agree with that. That's fair.
There, yeah. UFC 293 honorable mention. Was that the Adesanya Strickland card?
I was gonna the one that Lee said too. It's the John Jones. I thought was that was a great card.
What was the co-main event on that?
Shevchenko.
That was Shevchenko and Grasso, of course.
And then it was Shavkat Jeff Neal fight. Oh, yeah. DDP Brunson.
Really good.
Crazy fight. And we said that was Bo Nickel's debut.
It's a good year for UFC. I know people hate on him, but
Barrial and somebody had a great fight too on the prelims. I remember.
What was his name?
Because I had Barrial. He had a great comeback. That was an insane fight.
Julian Marquez.
That's right. That was a great fight. There was a bunch of good fights
Cuban
on that card.
Shout out Logan says honorable mention UFC Austin for fight night of the year. It was a good fight night. Yep. Great crowd.
I lost my shirt on that fucking card.
So. I swear to God, I was going to say the same thing. The reason I would bring it up. It didn't feel as good because I was on the receiving end of all these.
But that was a good ass card.
It was. I just and then I remember I was in Chicago in the hotel room just getting my brains beat in.
Yeah. And then it was like I was like, all right, if Dariush finds a way, I'm fine. And then boom.
Me too. I was like,
Dariush for everything, and then it
gets slept in a minute. I was like, oh fuck.
Fighter of the year. You want to do a fighter of the year? That wasn't one I don't have one prepared.
This one was really tough, and I think my pick's gonna surprise both of you. I said Islam.
Two names came to mind for me.
2 wins over the pound for pound one.
Yeah.
A head kick knockout in the second one, like a decisive.
Yeah.
He took it last minute, but still, it was just insane to beat Volkanovski twice like that. Is incredible. You guys, there obviously there's only like 4 or 5 people I know you could really say.
I think that's a good pick. The 2 names that came to mind for me were Islam and Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards, like beating Usman the way he did, beating Covington the way he did. I think you could put him on there.
Poton has a case. The only thing is he
lost this year.
He held 2 belts and he had a brutal KO loss, which
that's
would remove him. But the fact he moved up and beat Jan and then beat Yuri, I mean, he has a case, but I think it's
also
Islam.
I feel like you could argue both sides, but you could argue that because he had that brutal knockout, still came back and won after that, like that almost makes him more of like the fighter.
He had one of the worst knockout losses of the year, and then fought 2 more times, which is very rare because obviously guys want to take time off. He's just, I mean, he's a warrior.
See, his problem was the fight was that him winning the middleweight belt was a little too early.
Yes.
If that was in 2023 or 2023, he wins it no doubt.
Yeah.
But the fact that was November, like if he had won, it's impossible even if he lost to win 2 belts in a calendar year and not be the fighter of the year.
Aspinall, Pantoja mentioned by the chat.
Pantoja has a good case.
Pantoja, Aspinall, both are.
Might be Dave. Is it Dove or Dave? My eyes can't see that.
I think it's
Dove cut.
Dove. Dovecat. And Vince shouted out Pantoja, great picks. And then I think, do we just have one more award?
So we have we had the comeback.
Oh, comeback. I didn't have comeback.
Or comeback, I feel like in dog. We're all gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Who?
Mike Breeden, the dog of the year.
I think this should be known forever as the Mike Breeden Award.
Yeah. From this day on, the comeback of the year award, the dog of the year award will be for Mike Breeden.
Mike, just a legend.
Yeah.
I mean, just a bag chaser.
That was one of those things where he's the definitive winner, because when Jack said I added dog of the year, I just immediately went to my notes, wrote down Mike Breeden without even thinking about it.
Yes.
It was just like, nobody else could even be qualified for this award.
I mean, just the way he just walking him down, barking at him, saying USA.
Yeah.
And then he's
post-fight speech afterwards, and just caring about the Chiefs,
it was
right?
not in USA either. It was in the Middle East. It was just like at this at Cherokee, and he was
he had missed weight. He had staph infection.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately gets a crazy knockout and then got cut or just like not re-signed.
Well, he cared more about the Chiefs game that Sunday than even his fight. The second he knocked him out, he's like, by the way, the fucking Chiefs are on tomorrow. Crazy. Mike Breeden.
Mike Breeden. I would love to have him on the pod.
A suggestion from Dave
Elvis Brenner was a great
comeback. That was a great comeback.
That was a good
awesome
comeback. Yeah, Vince. He says, can you guys do a pod where you fantasy book UFC 300? I think that would be fun. This is our last show of the year, but next year we will do that. I think that's a good idea. We don't have to do a full show around it, but we could do that.
That's actually a great one for the first one coming back potentially, or second one coming back. But if there's I imagine there's going to be some news over that week or two. But
so we'll be back
because there's no card till like the 13th.
I know we got to wait a
while. So I'd be down to do a Dream 300 in between there.
Our schedule is we're off next week.
Yep.
Then the week after, we'll have one show, which will be like a 2024 preview. We could do the UFC 300.
Maybe January 3rd.
And then
that Wednesday.
And then the 10th or 11th, we'll do a preview for that 13th or for that card on 13th. And after that, we're back fully twice a week, unless there's not a card the following. But the 20th is
that's the Strickland DDP.
So we'll be back, and then we're gonna try to. I mean, obviously, there's always conflicts and whatnot, but we'll try to do the after pay-per-views live.
Yeah,
even if it's just
seem to be
two
a
of us
success.
or three of us.
Yeah, I think we should. I think it just works better that way.
Yeah.
And we should. And then it's easy. It's in our head, and then we just if we can't do it one time, it is what it is. But I think it's better that way for sure.
Especially pay-per-views going forward. I think get used to that because I think it worked out well.
And then
even
maybe
if you're not up that late too, you watch it the next morning, watching it Sunday morning with your breakfast instead of wait until potentially Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And we'll try to definitely get set times.
Yeah,
because we're
that's
all
a goal
over
for next year. Is to be
Spinnin
Backfist is at Tuesday at 2 or something. We'll have a time.
It's definitely easier post football season.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
A lot of traveling.
But shout out everyone in the chat right now. Mitt Romney, we see you there.
I think Hot Billy,
the Turtles, Hot Billy,
Logan DeWolf.
I think Hot Billy's chat member of the year.
Chat member of the year. He got us a couple times.
MPI had a late rise.
MPI, Jesse Adams is just like a rock.
Jesse Adams,
and him and Logan DeWolf are the rocks.
Absolutely,
just our brethren.
They're
all our brethren.
We appreciate you.
Do a worst fight of the year award.
Worst fight.
Can we just give it to Nama Yunus
again, just forever?
that fight from last year.
Damn, what was the worst fight?
I don't
Ollie, shout out 845, shout out Orange County.
Fight of the
shout
year.
out you, Ollie.
Did Holly Holm have a bad main event this year?
Oh man,
damn, what could be the worst fight?
You try to forget about him. That's why it's tough to. Who was just a brutal, no one did anything fight?
Lee.
Oh, you want to know what fight sucked? Almeida versus Lewis. I don't know, I just popped my head, but that sucked.
Oh, it did.
But then Logan literally said it right as I said it.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally just laid on.
What was that?
He just laid on.
There was a Dana White's Contender Series.
Oh, the Sandhagen fight where Sandhagen, but he got hurt during that, right, in Nashville.
Lewis Almeida just the sheer annoyance of having him in full mount.
Crowd saying Sandhagen,
not just on top position, full mount.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes and just couldn't do anything with it.
Luis is that Contender Series fight. Remember, it was the worst ever.
Yeah.
Also, not to get on our guys at PFL, but the glorified sparring between
it was so bad that they got like fired. Yeah,
they got fired. Yeah, they're Fonts and and then
that fight did suck.
I will say, you know who we kind of missed out on that could have been fighter of the year? I think Johnny Eblin has a case to be fighter of the year. He won. Yeah. He won. He defended his belt
what, 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
He destroyed
that one fight where he got the fucking insane cut on his forehead.
That's Fabian Edwards
against Fabian.
Crazy. And he was like, "Shit, I got to knock him out right now." And he just did it.
Yeah.
So shout out Johnny.
Shout out Johnny. We'll get him back on the show next year, I'd imagine.
Hopefully before the fight with him versus. There sound like it's gonna be maybe Brunson. Because they have no 185 division, but when they do that, hopefully
that'd be awesome. Yeah,
that champ card. I think their goal is to have him on that card.
Yeah,
but I mean, Evelyn round 2, round 3, let's just have all my money.
Yeah,
I'm afraid he might just do it in round 1. But round 2, but no, round 2, round 3 is a must. The second you see fucking Brunson start fading, I'm like, Evelyn, just go for the kill. Just smell blood.
Prediction of 2024 fighter of the year.
McGregor. He's fighting 3 times next year. April for UFC 300, July, and then
I will
November.
Say, Strickland could have a chance to do it again if he goes on a run.
He's so active. He'd have to if he defended 3 times. You're a
if
lock.
He goes January, May,
and then like end of
November.
The year, yeah.
I think Bo Nickel has a chance to really get going this year.
Benoit
or Shavkat too, maybe. Yeah,
Benoit's a good pick.
If Shavkat ended up like jumping Bilal, or maybe he ends up fighting Bilal.
Bo Nickel, if he fights a couple times next year.
Yeah, I'll go Aspinall, my official pick.
By the way,
I just hope he gets enough volume.
By the way, Bilal deserves that. Like he gets
the title shot. Yeah.
I get it from
Kron Gracie.
Oh yes, yes,
we
were there. Yeah,
yes,
in Newark. Yeah. Kron Gracie literally just laid
his throw punch.
I left and I didn't watch the 3rd round.
Horrible. Great call, Lee. Great call.
Wait, Roundtree?
I think he's saying for fight of the year. He's saying.
Okay, if Roundtree keeps going,
he's on a run.
Maybe.
Who are some others that could?
I just wish John Jones would fight Aspinall.
Yeah,
because that win would be like the easiest fighter of the year of all time. I just hope he fights 3. I mean, he should get at least 2 fights still, I think. But I'd love to see Aspinall get 3. I'd love to see him get to fight like one of these main contenders and then fight John Jones if he'll actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leon, he's going to be out for so long. He's probably not going to be able to.
If Leon beats Bilal and Shavkat in 2024, he'll be fighter of the year.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we'll be back after the new year, probably on January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, in that range. We'll make sure you guys know. We'll put it on all the social channels. Thanks for spending a great year with us.
Yeah, we must have done like 50 plus episodes.
A ton.
For sure.
Thank you, Monaco, for being there with us as well. Presenting sponsor. We always appreciate Monaco.
And thanks for sticking with us through the tech issues.
Yeah, the tech issues.
I will say there was none today.
None today. That was
actually
a good sign.
Mind. The TV was giving me issues, and
we did go live late too. So kind of. Next year we'll have less tech issues than we had this year. That's a Spinnin Backfist guarantee. We'll see you then.